Okay, so I'm recording this simply because a good number of people have missed this unpacking of what this assignment is about. So now for this assignment, you guys just finished signing up the topic already. You can, if you forget, just in case, you can access this sign up link, view only, of course. Okay. Um, so what are you supposed to do is the following. Now, the Class B slide link, I'm gonna open it up in a little bit. So I just say I'm gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna make it free for all to edit simply because that could easily create a lot of problem. So why is it taking so long? Okay, so what you guys are gonna do is this. Each group you're to present to create 3 or 4 slides presenting your microbes. So in this case, I'm just going to use someone's example. So let's just say the first group, not this group, this class. Okay. Charlotte's class group have decided to do Halobacteria pylori. So what you could do is so in this case, for your group, you just create it. I'll just say it like this, okay? And let me just, because you have to italicize all that, and this one's supposed to be lowercase. Okay, so you will create about 3 to 4 of those slides, and what I would suggest you do is you just go to duplicate the slide. So you can create the same, but like you can just have 3 or 4, but just the content will be different. Okay. You're supposed to do 3 or 4 of those slides for your one, which is Halobacter pylori, which is the one that's responsible for stomach ulcer, if I remember correctly. Now, what you need to do. Also, you need to provide a full bibliography plus 1 slide. So you will take 1 more slide that's not including part of your 3 or 4 for your bibliography. The work cited must be in APA format, and you have to do in-text citation. Now, when I say in-text citation, I'm just going to have to clarify this simply because in the past, a lot of students have misunderstood what in-text citation means. In-text citation basically is every time you say something that we have not taught you in grade 9 and 10 science, and I have not taught you in grade 11 bio, basically anything that's outside that I have taught, we have taught you in school, you will need to cite it. It's not only for direct quotation. In-text citation is basically any time you found something that's based on your research, you do need to cite it. Where is it from? Okay, is it from Johnson & Johnson 2019? Okay, something like that. So we can look at what you presented and see is it legit? Is it from a legitimate source? Okay. This part here, it's important. You must submit a set of handwritten research notes. That is a mandatory part of the assignment. Your assignment will not be accepted if there are no handwritten research notes. Okay. As a group, you'll submit a set of handwritten notes. However, I will expect the handwritten notes to be written by various people within the group. If I see one set of handwritten notes that have the same handwriting all throughout, I will suspect someone is carrying the group, and that's not right. Yes?
So there's one paper that we all read on, or what's that?
So I'm actually gonna talk about that. Down here, things I look for. In terms of the handwritten research note, I should be able to tell what you get from what sources. This will also help you easier to do your in-text citation afterwards, considering using one page per resource. Now, on the board here, what I mean is this. So, for example, you might want to do, let's just say, one piece of paper. On the top, you write down like, oh yeah, this one, this paper is only stuff from nature.com. Nature is a very, very well-reputed and highly regarded scientific journal. So for this one page here, it's nature.com about lactobacillus kimchi, and those are the points that you found from it. On a separate piece of paper, you can have, let's just say this is all the notes that I got from Scientific America, okay? So yes, there is going to be like a few more pieces of paper. However, it's easy, it's simple to clarify to see like what you get from where. And of course, if you're working in group of 4, it's very easy to have like 4 or 5 different pages and each person work on one, that kind of thing, okay? So this is actually something that hand research know. A lot of this stuff that I'm asking you guys to do will be what I want you guys to do for your big research paper later on in the course. Okay, so in some ways this is like a practice. Any questions so far? Now this part is individual. So you will individually comment on 2 other microbes. So for example, here, Charles, Samuel, David, and Roger will make their 3/4 slides on Heliobacter pylori, okay, and bibliography. They will make that as a group. But Chala will herself look through all the other people's slides and make comments, okay? You will use the comment function, basically, where's it? The add comment function here, and you will type in whatever you have questions or comments on other people's slides, okay? The point of this activity is not only you learn about your microbe, you will also learn from other people's presentation, okay? So that will be done individually. Yes?
How many comments did you say?
2.
Can you do more?
Comment on 2 other microbes, yeah, that's a minimum. Okay. And you will respond to comments or questions that are posted on your slide. I would actually ask people, like, if you notice, like, holy crap, this microbe has like 15 comments, or like have like more than 2 or 3 comments already, comment on some other slides which doesn't have much comments, okay? But you will either individually or as your group respond to comments or questions on your slides. Are we clear so far? Yes?
Are we expected to present in front of everyone?
In person, no. You're not doing a class presentation. You're not making a video. You are to create a presentation so that based on the slide, and you will look at other people's slides to comment on it, okay? But of course, I will expect you to be knowledgeable of your microbe, so to respond to other people's comments, okay? Other questions? Okay, so presentation criteria. So you are to provide the binomial name and common name. Now, only if that's appropriate, okay? Some microbes don't really have a common name, don't worry about it. Provide taxonomic information on the microbe, describe specifically where you can find this microbe in nature. Describe the interaction, beneficial and harmful, with humans. Now, if your microbe is a disease-causing microbe, like a pathogen, don't give me a list of symptoms. Or if your microbe is beneficial and people use it to make many things, okay, don't give me a list of products. Just give me the top, like the most major important 3, okay? That will give me an idea, give us an idea. Determine its importance or impact to the society, and of course, adequately respond to class questions. Okay. Good. Things I'm looking for. The link to the rubric is right here, so you can look at it a little bit later. I talked about the handwritten notes already. In-text citation is a must, and I told you guys what I'm expecting in terms of in-text citation. This here is important. Use visual aid only if it enhances your work, not to fill space. Typically, when I look at a piece of work, whether it's a paper, essay, lab report, or presentation like this, if I see a picture, if I see a table or a graph, if I see any kind of those kind of things, my first question to myself is this necessary? Is the quality of the work going to diminish without it? I'm not saying, oh, it's going to aesthetically look worse. If I see something that's going to take up a third of the slide, it better be something important, okay? I would expect you to reference from it or cite from it in your text, okay? It should be something that if you don't have it here, it'll be really hard to follow. Like, for example, the lysogenic cycle and the lytic cycle. Imagine if I don't have diagram there and I just straight up trying to explain it in text, that would be difficult to follow. So that's why a diagram would be important. Okay? So in this case, same thing here. If you have a diagram, if you have a picture, make sure it's important. Yes, does that answer your question? Okay.
Is location important though, like where you can find this bacteria? It's like more of an unknown type.
You should be able to find something on that.
But like a picture with like location is a bit problem, right?
Is there a reason why you need a location, a picture, rather than just words? Okay. Again, my first question to myself is this important? Is this necessary? Okay. Any good? Yes.
How many sources do you want us to cite from?
I believe a minimum of 5 for level 3, and I think look at the rubrics later on, okay, for level 4. When I say sources, we're talking about good sources. If you give me like 5, if you give me 5 sources and 3 of them are bad, I'll just count 2. Okay? Now, this is some of the things that should be helpful. I give you 3 sources here: Britannica, Encyclopedia, Scientific America, Encyclopedia.com, and Nature.com. Those 4 are reputable sites. There are some other reputable sites out there. I will ask you to try to find them. Okay. In fact, tomorrow, when you guys are in groups, because as I said, I'm not going to be here tomorrow in class. So what you're going to do tomorrow is a work period where you will be, where am I talking about? Tomorrow is a work period, so you guys will work on researching and making your handwritten notes. The instruction has been given so that you guys will have the Chromebook card here, so that you guys can use your Chromebook card, but the handwritten notes must be handwritten notes. Okay, don't tell me later on it's like, oh, it's all on Google Docs. That's not accepted. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, just going through a few more links here. Here, this is a link on Citation Machine. This can be helpful in terms of for you to generate your APA citation for your reference list. Also here, this last one, Purdue OWL APA. Now, this is made by the Library of Purdue University. Now, Purdue University, it's American University, and I can't comment on how good or not good they are. However, their library, at least, made an amazing page in terms of teaching different style of referencing. So here, if you look, it will tell you how do you do in-text citation, the basics, how do you list the authors, how do you make the reference list depending on what is the sources of information. And one other thing that is super helpful in this one, the sample paper. If you click on it, this will take you to a APA sample paper. Now, this sample paper, you have 2 kinds. You have an APA student paper or you have a professional paper, go with the student paper, because the student paper, even the student paper itself, we're talking about a PhD student paper. Okay, so that would be more than adequate. And if you look at this document, it tells you, like, on the comment, they explain why they have things that way. Okay, you can see how the in-text citation is made. You can see how the reference list was made, etc., etc. Okay. Any questions so far? So tomorrow, as I said, you are to work on your handwritten notes with your group and do researching. On Thursday, when I come back, okay? So on Thursday, when I come back, I will be checking your handwritten research notes as well as checking your sources, okay? Because it will be tragic. Let's just say if out of your 8 sources, 3 of them is bad, but I didn't see it and I don't say anything until you hand your final product and then you get your mark docked. Okay, it's better that I check right away. So if I see that 3 out of 8 is bad, you will need to replace those 3. Okay. I'll also check the progress of the handwritten notes. You have a question, or you're about to have a question?
Oh yeah. Do we have to write our bibliography by hand as well?
No, bibliography, you can do it by typing. It's just a handwritten research note. Yeah. Especially in the days of ChatGPT and all that stuff, rough notes is a mandatory thing. That will actually be part of your marks in the final paper. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so in terms of due dates, when is this due? When is all this due? So Wednesday is your first lesson, so you do research, make handwritten notes. So second lesson, you work with groups and create slides. The slides will need to be created by end of the day, next Monday, 4 p.m. And as homework, afterwards, you will start looking through the slides, okay? Other people's slides, commenting on at least 2 microbes. Commenting is to be done by Thursday at 4 p.m. Response need to be done by noon. Okay? So that's the timeline in terms of this assignments. Any questions? You guys will get a group mark as well as an individual mark. Okay? The individual mark is actually based on your group mark. Any questions? Comments, by the way, when I say comments, we're not looking for comments where like, good job, guys, or like, that's a cool pick, okay? I'm talking about comments like asking good questions, okay? Asking good questions about the other microbes, the other group's presentation, okay? It should show some sort of depth in your questioning. That's what I'm looking for. Anything else? No.